The Intruder Phenomenon. Imagine waking up in the dead of night. Your mind is conscious, but your body is locked down, paralyzed. Then it hits you, a suffocating, primal dread, the absolute, terrifying certainty that something else is in the room. This is the intruder phenomenon, the darkest hallmark of sleep paralysis. It rarely starts with a sound or a shape. It begins as a heavy atmospheric shift that triggers your brain's amygdala into extreme hypervigilance. Your biological threat detection system goes rogue. Soon, that unseen presence materializes into something agonizingly real. A shadow peeling off the wall, heavy footsteps approaching the bed, or ragged breathing right by your ear. But here is the most chilling detail. Across centuries and continents, cultures that have never interacted report the exact same entities, like the crushing Old Hag or the looming Hat Man. It's a terrifying biological glitch, proving that deep down, humanity shares the exact same nightmares. Vestibular-Motor Hallucinations. Not every episode feels like someone is watching you. Sometimes it feels like your whole body is doing something it isn't actually doing. You might feel like you're floating just above the mattress, or spinning slowly in the dark, or even falling. The kind of falling that makes your stomach drop, even though you haven't moved an inch. Some people describe the sensation of leaving their own body completely, watching themselves from somewhere near the ceiling. What's interesting is how many people describe this exact same floating or falling feeling in the exact same kind of detail, without ever comparing notes with each other. The reason it feels so real comes down to a part of your inner ear responsible for balance. During sleep paralysis, that system can misfire, sending signals to your brain that don't match what your body is actually doing. Your mind isn't making anything up. It's just reading confusing signals and doing its best to interpret them. REM Atonia Mechanism. Every single night, once you enter the dreaming stage of sleep, your brain does something remarkable. It cuts the connection between your mind and your muscles. Scientists call this REM atonia, and it exists for a very practical reason. Without it, your body would physically act out your dreams, which could mean thrashing, running, or falling out of bed while you're still completely unconscious. Your brain solves this by essentially switching your arms and legs off, almost like flipping a circuit breaker, while the rest of your mind is busy dreaming somewhere else. Normally, that switch flips back on right as you wake up, and your body catches up with your mind so smoothly that you never even notice it happening. Sleep paralysis is what happens when the timing slips. Your mind wakes up slightly too early, before the switch has flipped back, so you end up lying there fully alert, fully aware, inside a body that hasn't caught up yet. Amygdala Activation. Deep inside your brain sits a small structure whose entire job is to detect danger and trigger fear. During REM sleep, that structure is already unusually active, sometimes more active than it is while you're awake. Almost like a smoke alarm that has become a little too sensitive. Now add in the experience of waking up paralyzed in the dark, with no clear idea of what's happening to your own body. Your brain is primed for fear before anything has even gone wrong, so the moment anything feels slightly off, it reacts as if you're in real danger. That's part of why so many people describe a wave of dread arriving before they even notice a presence or feel their body doing something strange. The fear isn't just a reaction to the experience. In a lot of ways, it's the starting point. Hypnagogic hallucinations. Right as you're drifting off to sleep, or right as you're coming back out of it, your brain does something a little strange. It can produce a flash of light behind closed eyes, a voice saying a single word, a sudden jolt of falling that snaps you half awake, or a short scene that plays out almost like a dream, even while part of you is sure you're already awake. What makes this stage so unusual is that your brain is doing two jobs at the same time. One part is generating dreamlike images and sounds, while another part is still processing the real room around you, and for a few seconds, the two get blended together. Almost everyone has experienced some version of this at least once, even people who have never had a full episode of sleep paralysis. Cultural interpretations. Long before anyone understood REM sleep or the amygdala, people all over the world were having this exact experience, and every culture came up with its own explanation for it. In Newfoundland, they called it the Old Hag, an old woman said to sit on your chest at night. In Japan, it's known as Kanashibari, a word that roughly means being tied down. In China, a similar experience is described as a ghost pressing on the bed. In parts of the Middle East, some people describe it as an encounter with a jinn. In European folklore, it was often blamed on an incubus, a demon said to press down on a sleeper's chest, an image that shows up again and again in old paintings and stories. Here's what makes this genuinely interesting. These cultures had little to no contact with each other, separated by oceans and centuries, and they still landed on almost the same description: a heavy presence pressing down on the chest while the sleeper is completely unable to move or call out. That's not really a coincidence. It's the same biological experience, filtered through completely different beliefs and stories. Waking up techniques. The good news is that almost every episode ends on its own within a minute or two, even though that minute can feel much longer. Sleep researchers have found a few things that genuinely help speed it up. Instead of trying to move your whole body at once, which usually doesn't work and just adds to the panic, try focusing on one small part, like a single finger or your toes. Small movements tend to come back online faster than big ones. Controlling your breathing helps too. Slow and steady breaths signal to your brain that there's no real emergency happening. And staying calm, as hard as that sounds in the moment, genuinely matters, since panic tends to make the episode feel like it's stretching on even longer than it actually is. Most people find that the moment they stop fighting it and just breathe through it calmly, their body catches up within seconds. It's less about forcing yourself awake and more about gently coaxing your body to catch up with your mind. Have you ever been trapped in this waking nightmare? Drop what you saw or felt in the comments below. I'll be reading through them. Let's see who had the wildest experience.